Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure and this is Get Back to Work, a series in which I get back to work while discussing the topic of the day that has been suggested by you, the viewer. Today we're in Farming Simulator, as is plainly obvious, and I thought I'd go and see how the cake situation's getting on. Go on, if you lower that down, we might be able to avoid tipping over simply by being offset. I tell you, this little loady doodad here, it's rubbish. It's total rubbish. I get some use out of it, and the main reason to have it is it just means that I don't have to have another. I don't have to bring a tractor up here or whatever anytime I've got a job to do. Anyway, I've got a job to do. I'm going to get back to it. So I've no idea where the cake factory's up to at the moment, if I've got enough to warrant a delivery run or not. But it's always good to, take some supplies down to the joint and just make sure it's topped up. Actually, it's got loads of sugar already. Well, now it's going to have loads more. It can just deal with that. You've also got eggs, but they're strapped to the trailer. I think I might need to unstrap them in order for the cake factory to get to work. Let's no, jump out. There you go. Right, let's just release the eggs. Yeah, that's done it. Right, talk to me, cake factory. How are we looking? Strawberries are good, sugar's good, flour's good, everything's good. Everything is good here. It's just not producing at a speed that one might describe as swift. No, it really isn't, and I would have thought it would be running a little faster than this. Let's have a quick look and see how we're doing. It's a little low on flour. That's no big deal. What are we making? Well, it's not making bread, cake. It's inactive. Well, we need to make that inactive. So just store cake, please. Manufacture all the cake you can. Status inactive. Oh, why am I? No, because that's still looking at bread. There you go. Bread inactive, cake running. Thank you. Okay, and we're storing cake. That's what you wanted. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yes, there we go. 198 litres of cake, because obviously cake is stored in litres. Let's get on with the topic of the day. That's gonna be busy for a while yet. Kevin has got in touch with this question, which clearly, I mean, Kevin had been off his meds again, and the question is, the topic is to discuss penguins and how to spot them. Well, look, I mean, it's your dime, sunshine. I mean, if that's really the bee that you've got in your bonnet at the current time, then who am I to something or other tell you off, dissuade you from that kind of approach. Now, I mean, there are two ways in which we can answer this question. First is the natural kingdom penguin, which only live in Antarctica and zoos, as far as I can gather. Pretty sure I'm right when I say Antarctica. It's not in the Arctic. No, they're only in Antarctica. That's why the joke is. And this leads us on to the second possible line of inquiry. Why don't polar bears eat penguins? And there are two answers. One, because polar bears are in the Arctic, and penguins are in Antarctica, right? And therefore they're miles and miles apart, right? Yeah, I know, that's the dull answer. Or the hilarious answer, which is because they can't get the wrappers off, which leads us to the potential second answer here. Which refers to the British confectionery. I don't know how far and wide this is spread around the world. However, we have got, it's a small chocolate bar called a penguin. Yeah, I know. You're welcome. Things you didn't know, possibly did know, but didn't really want to know. It's a small chocolate bar called a penguin. I'm going to talk about those to start with, because I've got nothing to say about penguins. I mean, I think that they're hilarious and majestic creatures who should just be left alone to, get on with whatever it is that they want to get up to. However, penguins, the chocolate bar, I've got a little bit more to say on the subject. So growing up in the 1970s, well, mostly 1980s, I was born in 1973. See, so I got to the age of 7 before the end of the decade, and my parents had embraced what's known as the good life, based off the TV series in the UK, which is a sitcom, which was about a couple who decided to get out of the rat race and instead grow all their own food, and and have livestock and all of that kind of bit. So not quite a farm, a small holding, I guess you'd call it, with benefits. No, that's not what I wanted to say at all. But we grew all our own vegetables, and we had we had a couple of cows, and we had goats and ducks and chickens and pigs. Anything else? Rabbits, which is why I can never view a rabbit as a pet, because we used to eat them. Yeah, and they're all right. We used to, more than that, we had a special casserole dish for the rabbits that was shaped like a rabbit. And you kind of go, that's particularly horrific if you're a rabbit fancier. You kind of go, well, yeah, you deal with it. But, it's all food. And my mum, who's a professional cellist, learned how to skin and gut rabbits. And you kind of go, like, fair play. There you go. That's pretty remarkable stuff. Anyway, the upshot of this approach to life was that confectionery was not something you tended to see, except during the festive period. During the festive period, we would get the large round tin, as it was in the day, little steel tin of Quality Street, and you used to be allowed 1 or 2 a day. And I tell you, that was really exciting. Easter eggs, maybe an Easter egg. So chocolate was not something you saw all the time. However, my buddies would invariably... I had one pal whose family ran the local shop, and this is the traditional English village local shop, where they carry a few odds and ends, but not much. But as such, he would always be rocking up with with crisps and flipping chocolate bars and all kinds of stuff at school. I didn't have packed lunch. No, I had school dinners, which is what I attribute me having school dinners to what enabled me to have pretty much a universal I'll eat just about anything palate. Not being fussy. That and being taught how to finish your plate, which is why I'm a big lad, because I never grew out of clearing my plate. No, if it's put in front of you, you eat it. If you're allowed to, I don't know. Where am I going? I'm going to go get some flour. So as a result, when I used to go round to his, the other reason I went round to his, he had an Atari, which was like, Atari, amazing. It took until I had a BBC B before I had my first digital entertainment device. So an Atari was like magic. It was like fairy dust had been sprinkled all over the land, and everybody was happy as a result of it. But you used to go around there, and you'd score a penguin or a club biscuit. Club biscuits, same as penguins, only better. Still bad, and we'll come on to why they're bad shortly. But club, better than a penguin every day of the week. Right. So what is a penguin? All right, describing one in a way that translates. And you know what? We've got a pickup truck here. Let's leave this flipping skid lift here, and we'll take the pickup instead, because that's a lot faster. All right, hustle, hustle, hustle. There we go. Right. What am I on about? Oh, I don't know. Some old rubbish. Yeah. You're going to have to take the skid lift back up to the top again. That's all right. It's fine. It's going to be worth it for the speed progress that we're making here. This is how wasteful my farm is that I've got forklifts and skid lifts all over the place just to save me from having to move them from location to location. But that's what makes this game great, is that I am free to be as efficient or inefficient as I ruddy well choose. Right, let's take the straps off. Yeah, straps off. There we go. And I think you can... Do you have to be inside to do the tailgate? I think I probably do. There we go. Right. Yeah, what was I talking about? We were talking about club biscuits. Oh, what is a penguin? Right, okay, yeah, let's do what's a penguin. So a penguin is a bourbon. Yeah, you see, you don't know what that is either, do you? I mean, if you're in the UK, this is all dead easy. Or if you're an Anglophile in any kind of a fashion, then this is easy peasy. But if you're not, then I'm going to have to spell it out. All right, so a bourbon is a rectangular biscuit about the size of my thumb, right? So you're looking at about that kind of size, right? And then about that kind of width and about that kind of thickness. It's a rectangular biscuit, which you might call a cookie if you're an American. You see, but a cookie is something that's used to track data. So it's a rectangular biscuit. And then you get a thin layer of pseudo chocolate flavoured paste in the middle of it, rather like that disgusting muck you get in an Oreo, right? Except this is chocolate flavoured instead of synthetic, which is the flavour of an Oreo. Just so you know, Oreos are absolutely disgusting. They are horrendous. They are a very, very poor biscuit. Very poor indeed. And dunking them in milk isn't going to make the biscuit any better, is going to make the milk considerably worse. You have been told, and don't try and argue anything to the difference. So a bourbon has got a thin layer of pseudo chocolate paste in between. It's not even chocolate. It's not pretending to be chocolate flavour. What flavour is it pretending to be? It's like a dark chocolate flavour that it's pretending to be, but it's obviously synthetic. And at one point it might have been real. At one point, but it isn't anymore. And then you've got another slab. So you've got biscuit, paste, biscuit, right? And that's a bourbon. What a penguin is that biscuit with chocolate over the top of it, milk chocolate over the top of it. And it is smeared over the top and the bottom. The whole thing's encased in chocolate, but it is encased in about 3 atoms thick of chocolate, and that's a penguin. They come in a few different flavours. Obviously, mint is the best one, but you've got orange is another good standby, I guess, because it's an easy flavour to synthesise, and then you've got standard, which is who knows what. Right, so that's what a penguin is. And frankly, there's not enough chocolate in there to make you feel like you've had a chocolatey hit. Nope. No, that's it. Go on. I reckon I can get all 3 on there. Right, now, if I ease that down while backing up a bit, just stay. I'll put the straps on and you'll be happy. There we go. Hang on, let's do that now. Strap it. Yeah. Okay. Let's go around the other side to get the rest. Right. So a penguin is not a good biscuit at all. It's not a good chocolate biscuit. It's not a good chocolate. It's the biscuit inside is not good. Bourbons are rubbish. Okay. It's just not a biscuit that you want to get involved with. No. I mean, obviously, I don't really want to do a follow-up video on biscuits. And therefore, I think we'll probably stay on a biscuit kind of kick here. How's that looking? It's looking like it's going to fall over when you go round a corner in the way that you often go round corners. Okay, well, I'll go gently then. I can do that. I've got plenty to talk about. It's not like I've got to fit. It's not like I've got to fill while driving from point A to point B. I've got a topic, and that's what makes this work simulator plus random topic concept so absolutely ruddy marvellous. Right, come on, let's go. Right, so they're cheap, right? That's fundamentally it. What you're not looking at is a Kit Kat, right? Kit Kat, for those of you unfamiliar, 4 fingers traditionally, although they've done a 2-finger version now because they're cheapskates. 4 fingers of wafer with a little bit of wafer cream in the middle of it. And covered in chocolate, but a sufficient amount of chocolate to make you go, that was chocolate. Yeah. I mean, it's milk chocolate. The interesting thing, of course, is that in the UK, we know milk chocolate as the likes that Cadbury make and are still making at the moment, although not for long because they're now owned by Americans. And the first thing that they did when they took over is they halved the size of everything while still charging the same price. Thanks very much, capitalism. No, it was doing a perfectly good job, but did you know it's not actually chocolate? Now, they might have made tweaks so that it can be defined as chocolate. It has too low a cocoa ratio to be considered chocolate. I know, it's a vegetable something or other, and I can't remember what the something or other is. I'm evidently in the middle of something here. I've no idea what. That's a nice bit of flat, though, isn't it? Well, yeah, apart from that hole. Well, obviously, apart from that hole. I think I was in the middle of quite a lot of terraforming when I was last here. Yeah, so the best milk chocolate in the world is not actually chocolate. I mean, yeah, okay, you've got what the Belgians and the Swiss do. They're the kings of the castle when it comes to chocolate, typically. But honestly, nah, give me some dairy milk any day of the week. That'll do me nicely. And obviously you don't have anything by Nestle, just obviously, and that's a shame because I really do like a Milky Bar. But yeah, no, Nestle are deciding to charge people for water, which is or rather privatise water sources, which is horrendous and shouldn't be allowed. Thanks again, capitalism. Right. Yeah. Alright, how are you going to get this out of here? Well, I've got to go and get the skid lift and bring it back up anyway. But I think with a judicious application of bad cornering here, we might be able to spill this in the right location. No, there you go. No, look. It's extracting. Right. Yeah, go on. Continue extracting. Maybe you need to pull it forward a little bit. Well, it has taken some off that top pallet. Oh, no, there you go. Keep going. I think you're in the right place. I think you will need the skid lift, though. Yeah. Now, are you going to use tab to go get it, or are you going to walk? I'm going to walk. I mean, look, using tab is so much faster. But half the reason for having multiple vehicles is to it's the closest I come to playing something properly. And yet it's the only bit that the people who do play it properly don't actually seem to care about. But that's horses for courses. Yeah, okay, so that's dairy milk for you. It's not actual chocolate. I can't remember what the legal definition is, but it's vegetable something or other. Yeah. And it sounds scientific or technical more than it does appetizing, which is also equally exciting. Right, what else do you need to know here? Let's talk club biscuits. Club biscuits are a similar kind of idea to a penguin, but what they've done is instead of having a bourbon on the inside, they've stuck something else on the inside, which is just a bit of bland biscuit, and then they've covered it in a good thick slab of chocolate afterwards, still encased, but they've got just enough slabby bits so that you can have it and go, that was chocolate. Yeah, and that makes a big difference. So I mean, you're still not talking that, if you want chocolate, you don't get a club biscuit. No, you're going to get some chocolate, right? And lots of people swear by dark chocolate, and I'll be honest with you, I understand that. Your green and blacks is good darts by all accounts. However, I don't like it, and I suspect it hits a similar area of your taste buds and makes them all happy and tickled as a cup of coffee would do. It's that bitterness kind of thing, and frankly, I can't get behind that. I can't stand coffee. I think coffee is disgusting, and dark chocolate lives in the same boat. Yeah. I would put money on them being related. The taste bud thing, I reckon. Anywho, what was that? That was dark chocolate plus club biscuits. So penguins, they're just they're just a disappointment. But as a young fella who grew up loving more vegetables than you could shake a stick at, and having preferences for vegetables that, you know, fall outside the norm, and then obviously fruit for pudding every day. Well, no, you didn't get pudding every day. Dream on. You'd get puddings after your Sunday dinner, and that was it. I mean, Mum was a dab hand at making a crumble. My dad used to cook the Sunday dinner because that was his big thing, and that fella's a master at roast potatoes, let me tell you. But I beat both my parents when it comes to Yorkshire puddings. Yeah, I mean, she can't tell me off for this. That's a story I've told before. Is that herself is from Yorkshire, and first time she made Yorkshire puddings when we were a couple, she made it from a packet mix, and the level of scorn that I poured on her was immense amounts of scorn. That a yokel from Suffolk could give a better Yorkshire pudding without needing a recipe. That was just, I never let that go. No, not once. Never let it go. Anyway, I taught her how to make Yorkshire puddings properly. She then got stuck into all of that, and over the years she refined it down to perfect ratios of the different ingredients, and ended up making Yorkshire puddings better than me, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine to be beaten, because my approach to cooking has always been just have enough stuff memorized so that you can do it on the spur of the moment without having to stress about it. And I will once in a while, take a look at a recipe or something like that. But that's usually if there's something that I particularly fancy, like a lamb tagine, right? Who doesn't like a lamb? That'll do. Who doesn't like a lamb tagine? Where did the other one go? It's over there. Look. Okay. Yeah. You've made a mess here. Yeah. What's your point? Oh, I'm just saying. Now, what's this? This is eggs. Well, very good. We're up to 237 litres of cake, which I would anticipate would be stored here, but it's not. All right, so where is it stored? Well, therein lies the question. Store doesn't keep it in the house. Maybe it needs to get up to 500 before it sticks a pallet out. That's certainly plausible. In. That one. All right. Yes, thank you for saving the content. How are we looking? Still a little low on flour. I just bought you loads of flour. You'll be fine. You've just got 7,000 litres of it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. I'm not going to make bread. No. Don't get me wrong. Bread's is nicely profitable. You do 192 cycles a month. All right. So that's what, 192 cakes, presumably. Yeah. I think it's probably just fine. I think it's probably fine. I think all you need now is patience. Okay, well, I'm pretty good at patience. Yeah. Do you want to shove some of this into the dispatch area? Yeah, it might help. Particularly the flour. All right, let's get you out of the way. All right, you've done your job to perfection, but let's shove you out of the way over here. All right. What were we talking about? Pudding. Oh, yeah. So my mum used to make pudding, and it would almost invariably be like a blackberry crumble or rhubarb crumble. She liked to crumble. And I'll tell you something else. I like to crumble. Gooseberry crumble. Oh, yeah. That's the sourest thing you can ever imagine. It was flipping delightful. Yeah, loved a bit of gooseberry crumble. Rhubarb crumble, loved that as well. What's crumble? Okay. Crumble is a mixture of breadcrumbs. No, not breadcrumbs. Flour crumbs, right? So you'd make pastry and then you'd crumb it. There you go. Gone. That's it. Good job. And mix it with a bit of sugar and stick it on top of stewed fruit. Now the fruit would be partially stewed before you cooked it, and then pretty much stewed when you were done. If they were feeling chancy on a Sunday morning, flipping it, this is a childhood flashback, they would send me up to Punchard's farm, to buy a pot of cream. It'd be single cream. I'd buy a single pot of single cream. They'd send me up there on my bike. It was about 2 miles away, and I'd go up there and come back with a pot of cream. Otherwise, we'd have custard. Nothing wrong with custard, of course. Obviously, made from custard powder rather than any kind of carton full of custard. Don't hold with such things. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, and it was delightful. But don't eat it too fast, because otherwise you would burn the inside of your face off. And while your mouth was turning inside out because of just how sour it was, the thing was you were eating. But it was beautifully offset by the combination of custard and or single cream. What about ice cream? No, ice cream is for your birthday. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Which is rather ironic, given that in my later life I developed, possibly the worst kind of sweet tooth imaginable. And it doesn't really translate to sweeties or chocolate or anything like that. I will have chocolate, I'm fine with chocolate, but it's not the sort of thing that I get obsessed by. But sugary beverages are my bête noire. Carbonated sugary beverages. Can't get enough of them. Yeah, and when the brakes came off in terms of what my diet was allowed to consist of, then it was pretty much that's what I ate from there on in. I think we're already full up on sugar, so that's probably why that's not interfacing at the moment. Anyway, there you go. Good. So there you go. Penguins. What about the other ones? The black and white fellas. All right, let's do a penguin joke. What's black and white and red all over? Penguin reading a newspaper. No, a newspaper. Right. Yeah, good. That's great. What's black and white and red all over? Sunburnt penguin. What's black and white and black and white and black and white and black and white? That's a penguin rolling down a hill. And one of my personal favourite jokes that you may find offensive. Ready? What's black and white and can't turn round in a lift? None with a spear through a head. I've been Colonel Failure. If you'd like to submit one of these for your own education, edification, entertainment, and excitement purposes, head over to wizio.com/Colonel_Failure. There's a link in the description. You get to pick one of the work simulators that I have previously embarked upon, and you get to choose the topic of conversation. I thank you very much for watching. Please contribute your penguin-based jokes in the description below. Comments. That was almost slick, but wasn't. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.